When people see JEUNESSE, they see. So let me move on with my PowerPoint, okay? So let's bring that into this platform that we're speaking of, okay? JEUNESSE. There, I saw the logo. Okay, I see JEUNESSE. For example, when we had the event here in Indonesia, I remember back then we had this flag, this big flag outside that says JEUNESSE. It would be interesting to see if you were to interview the people that walk along the street. Oh yeah, JEUNESSE, I see. They only saw the sign. Are you guys with me so far? Yes. Then, maybe they begin to look behind JEUNESSE. What is behind this word JEUNESSE? What's behind this thing, this logo? What's behind that? Okay? They go, they look a little further. Oh, it's a bunch of product. Be it beauty, be it health. They go, okay, I understand it now. JEUNESSE is a company with lots of product. Okay, so that then some people go, okay, I understand what JEUNESSE is. How many of you, when you joined JEUNESSE, that's what you thought it is? Okay, I understand. It's an anti-aging company with great product. Show of hand. How many thought that? There's no right, no wrong, but that's what it is. Now, then, how you distinguish from that point on to going forward? Some just say, you know what, I love the product, therefore, I want to join this business. Okay. So what makes somebody go crazy and really travel miles and miles to be here? Because they saw something behind the product. They saw something beyond the product. Okay? So what they saw is they heard and they saw and they felt the stories from many people across the globe. Or right here in Indonesia, you heard people's story, how the platform was able to change their lives. And now, especially with social media, with internet, you're able to go to YouTube and Google a lot of great stories about what this platform had done for people. So when you connect those experiences and when you connect all those stories with your heart, guess what? You begin to fall in love and value the platform that we have. So that's the difference between seeing something, understood something, and you felt compelled to value something. So those are the three things. So we are a lot more than a great company with incredible product. We're a great platform with incredible groups of people from around the globe with a great cause, with a great mission. So when you understand that, that's why people, we were able to attract people from all walks of life, from all over the globe. Why? Because they felt something here. There's a lot more than just good product. So once you understood that, and from that perspective, and I hope that you guys understand, that's what helped endure me to go on this path. Because it's only for money, I don't need to travel anymore. Are you guys with me so far? Yeah. If you have the blessings of making a lot of money. Whether you show up to work or not, money still comes. If it's only for money, would you travel again? No, you won't. I have a teenager at home. I want to be home with my son. He's in high school. But why am I out here? Because there's a passion. You feel for those entrepreneurs that are still doing it, that want to be successful. That's why you take time to be here. So same thing. Why do you pursue JEUNESSE? Today's what? What day is today? Thursday. Why? Thursday, most people are at work. Why are you here? Because you are here because you value it. So just because they heard about JEUNESSE doesn't mean that they are fully engaging it. So you got to feel it here. Okay? Think about this. We have in your local market, you have a very famous broadcaster that's sitting right here. She resigned from her job. She's sitting right here. And that's Fenty's wife, Diane. She's right here. Give her a big round of applause. Why is she here? You question. Most people wanted her job. But she chose to be here. And you guys with me so far because she felt something here. So besides what you can see and what you can comprehend, you felt something here. Okay? So now, let's then talk about, so that is a difference of seeing something, understanding something, and feeling something. And I hope that through this event, through this, yesterday and today, and through series of events, you begin to feel what this is all about. Okay? And that's what the system is. The system, there's no membership, there's no fees to pay, but it's a community in the cloud. For those of you that you want to be successful, you can be a part of it. And so, for example, people ask how it can plug in, how it can get people inspired. Well, all that stuff is in the cloud. Okay? So there's a USGS official channel that you can download and learn and grow as you go with the business, okay? Now, so let's talk about, to me, what this whole thing is. This entire last 8 years is an incredible business platform with a compensation plan attached to it. It's school of life. This, to me, what this platform is all about, is a classroom of life. You get to work, learn, and grow, and make money at the same time. So it's a classroom of life, okay? So let's take a look at that. So now, earlier today, we talked about adversity. So I wanted to share this with you. This story I heard many, many years ago. And it really helped me, it guided me on how I view situations, how I view adversity, how I view challenges in life. And so with that, I want to tell you the story. A story of a little girl, okay? There was a story of a little girl. One day, the little girl was really, really frustrated. Not little girl, but a young lady, okay? She was really, really grumpy, really frustrated. And she got home and she was really pouting. And the mom says, you know what? What's wrong? And she just said, I had a bad day. And the mom says, well, what can I do to help? Well, you know what? Just had a bad day. What should I do? And the mom, and then she says, I can't take it anymore. I'm just about done. You know, I've faced all these challenges and it happened. I just don't know what to do. So the mom didn't say anything. The mom says, you know what? The mom just dressed the girl to say, come with me to the kitchen. The mom then took a bunch of carrots, and then the mom started boiling a pot of hot water. Then the mom started putting the carrots in the hot water. Then at the same time, the mom had have eggs, and then the mom also have some coffee beans. And in the same, she had poured 3 pots of water. So she put the carrots into the pot of hot water, and then another pot, she would put the egg in the hot water, and another pot, the mom would put a bunch of coffee beans in the hot water. There's a girl looking at the mom and said, you know, Mom, what you doing? The mom continued not to say any word. 20 minutes later, the mom had took out the carrots and put it aside, as you can see on the screen here. Then, with the eggs, the mom put the eggs in the hot water, and 20 minutes later, that's what you see here. Then, put the coffee beans in a pot of hot water. 20 minutes later, it's a cup of coffee. So the daughter goes, Mom, what is the point of all this? The mom says, you see the carrots? Before it encountered the hot water, what do you see? You see a strong, fresh carrot. When it goes in the hot water, 20 minutes later, it came out soft. The egg, before it goes in the hot water, it's hard on the outside, but fluid on the inside, soft on the inside. But 20 minutes later, the shell hardened. The inside also hardened. Coffee, it's just beans. When it went into water, 20 minutes later, it became a cup of fragrant, beautifully smelled coffee, a cup of coffee. The mom says, that pot of water represents adversity. All 3 items face the same adversity. One went in, before waiting adversity, it was strong, it was tough. Then when it encountered adversity, it became soft. It couldn't even stand on its own. The egg, on the other hand, it was fragile on the outside. It was soft, fluidy in the inside. But when it encountered adversity, its inside got hardened. Think about this. How often in our life that we had a beautiful, loving heart, but because of a breakup, because of challenges, that our heart become bitter. We become hardened. Then there was the coffee beans. The coffee beans face the same adversity. But instead of letting the situation affect them, the coffee beans transformed the adversity and became a cup of aromatic coffee. So through this example, I hope you guys realize something. Whenever something happens in our life, it's a lesson. It's a lesson in life. When people don't join you, when people reject you, it's not you. So when things don't happen the way that we expect to, how do we turn the adversity into something that empowers us? Of 300 people that I've talked to, more than 40% rejected me. What does it matter? I turned all those rejections and I didn't let that affect me. I turned all those rejections into beautiful global projects. Think about that. It's a beautiful global project that are totally creating a movement of entrepreneurs around the world. What? With over 1 million distributors around the world. From 5 people in my kitchen. Or if people rejected me and say, oh mom, people don't sign up, what do I do? Are you guys with me so far?
Yeah.
But turn that. Now, the people that rejected me, some of them want to join me. I said, too late, I'm too busy now. If you want to play around, you can have that. But, I hope you understand that. So, one of the questions was, how do I turn adversity? I hope you remember this story. We all face the same thing. You have rejection, I have rejection, Patrick, and everyone. Farah, we all have rejections. It's not what was said or what was done. What was done, what was said, that's beyond our control. When your prospect said no to you, did you say no or they say no? They did, right? So whatever they say, is that within our control? No, it's not. So, but what is within our control is how we react to it. I remember in the very beginning when they say no to me, I took it very personal. I said, what did you mean? I said, I loan you money, remember? Remember those days I sent you to the airport? That was many, many, many years ago. It was true. I took it personal. I was like, how could you say no to me? We're good friends. We're best friends. But it is what it is. Yeah. They don't have to like what you do, and you don't have to like what they do. It's just life. Up to this day, one of my old neighbor now, whenever she talks to me, so how's your thing going? I said, what is my thing? Your thing. Now I want to learn about your thing. I said, too late. You can't learn about my thing no more. It's like people have an issue. They just don't want to say your business. It's your thing, You understand what I'm saying? But don't take it personal. Be proud of your thing.
Yes.
Look at our thing. We're changing lives.
Yes.
So you're going to have that in you. When you have that in you, look, whatever people say, it doesn't matter. They can call it whatever they want. I say, yeah, I'm part of Giza. Like a pyramid, whatever. Are you guys with me so far?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the pyramid yet. I would love to go see it someday. They go like, hello? Hello? Just be proud of what you have. Don't not, other people's comments of you doesn't have to become your reality. Yes. Whatever they say about you, I don't care. I remember for 20 years, people call me a dreamer. I said, at least I could dream. At least I have a dream. Yeah. How many people you know that are stuck in their life? Oh, I'm comfortable. Congratulations. I want a little bit more in my life. I wanted to expand. I wanted to change. I wanted a new me. I want to have better environment for my family. Patrick spoke a little bit earlier about the ability to love. How many of you have children? Show of hand. If you have children, I know all parents love the children. Loving is one thing. I love my kid. I remember in my family, my mother have 4 girls. My parents have 4 girls. They love us dearly. What if they told us, you know what, kids, you can have anything you want in life, but mom and dad are stuck. Mom and dad love you, but we can't send you to the best school. I don't want to say that to my son. I would tell my son, you can be anything you want. You have the potential to realize your dreams, anything you can dream of. But at the same time, mommy is fighting for her dream. And I want to be able to provide. That's what it means, having the ability to love. I want to be able to give my son the best learning opportunity. The most advanced technology product. I want him to experience it, to taste it. That's called the ability to love. You love your family. You love your parents. Do you have the ability to give them the opportunity to live a better life, a better housing, the opportunity to travel the world, whatever that might be. So I don't know what that is that turns you on, but only you know. But the very fact that you are sitting here today, that means you want to change. That's why you're sitting over here. Otherwise, you won't be here. There are many things to do. There's many temptations in Jakarta. I mean, look at your mall. You got beautiful malls over here. But you are sitting here because you wanted something. But don't let anyone talk you out of it. I mean, think about it. What are the odds? Look at me. I'm married to a doctor. Okay, my husband's a medical doctor in America, have his own medical clinic. And yes, I live an okay lifestyle. I mean, I couldn't go buy a nice handbag every single month. I mean, I probably could, but it doesn't sound right, you know, because I don't like to say, honey, can I have a few $1,000s? This is not me. I want to be able to make my own money and buy whatever I want.
Yes.
Ladies, would you like that?
Yes.
See, I want to be independently wealthy. Whatever I do with my money is my choice. In the beginning, I like to go shopping, I like to do this and buy jewelry, buy bling bling. But now I don't like to buy anything anymore. I like to do things that's good for society. Just things I like. So, but it's a process. I didn't become like that day one. Are you guys with me so far? So get the money issue out of the way. Then you can do whatever you want in life. And so I hope that through this little quick training, okay, it helps you get a better picture of what it is. Is this picture helping you guys?
Yes.
You know the carrots? Now, given that situation, same adversity, would you choose to be a carrot that you were strong before you encounter adversity? And then, or would you want to be an egg that you have a loving, soft heart? Or would you want to be a coffee bean? See, when the softening heart, when it came out, when they encountered maybe, you know, how many of you were in a relationship before that didn't work out? Show of hands. I know that, I don't want to raise my hand. My spouse is here, okay? It's okay, you know? See, I mean, look, some people, because they had a bad relationship, they broke up with the dude, with the guy that didn't work out, and they never get married again. Oh, no, don't waste your time. I mean, really, come on, get over it. Some people, the heart become hardened. Don't do that. It's a beautiful world. I know that there's a lot of things happening around the world, but there's a beautiful group of people. We had wonderful groups, thousands of people in Kaohsiung a few days ago, doing something for society. You know, we have people from 13 or 14 different countries, from England, Australia, Japan, you know, Singapore, Malaysia. From 13 different countries went to Taiwan for this event to help raise awareness. I don't know where you go. I mean, that's beautiful heart, beautiful story. So, having said that, what would you rather be? Would you want to be a carrot, an egg, or coffee beans? Coffee beans. I want you to remember that. You said it, not me, okay? So whenever adversity comes, I said, I am a coffee bean.
Yes.
I'm going to transform the adversity.
Yes.
Yes, things happen in the world, but it's still up to us to make a difference in this world. So right now, we're entrepreneurs, but we are impact entrepreneurs. Because in order for me to become successful, I have to help other entrepreneurs to be successful. And once we are successful as entrepreneurs, we can then give back to society. Do something with society so other people can see the beauty of this world, of humanity. That's what impact entrepreneurs are. So how many of you not only want to become an entrepreneur, but be an impact entrepreneur? How many want that?
Yes.
Absolutely say yes.
Yes.
There we go. I mean, you guys are beautiful. So, I mean, I hope that through all this, learn two things. One is awareness. Be aware that you are an incredible seed with amazing potential. You gotta be aware of that, okay? You might not see it with your naked eyes. Your physical eyes, you might not see it. But just have that sense of knowing that you are meant for something. You are. We all are. We came here to do something. We've just been asleep all these years. But it's now to wake up. I'm 52 years old. I'm more awake and beginning to more awake and alert of what possibility lay in front of us. So I want you to be alert and be aware of the possibility. JEUNESSE is an incredible platform for all of us to change our lives. All of us. We've just begun. The last 8 years, we've been writing the introductory chapter of JEUNESSE. The next 8 years, we can do incredible things together. Not one person, together. You know, I can tell you that all the people that started with me, that have achieved great success, they are still out in the field. they are still out there spreading this love, this passion in what we do. That speaks a lot about the opportunity. When people have made money and continue to go pay it forward. I mean, look at Patrick and Harris. Indonesia volume has nothing much to do with them. Actually, nothing to do much with Patrick. But he's here. Why? I'm thinking about why. Patrick, why are you crazy? You buy your own ticket, you pay for your own hotel, your own time, you drop your team in Hong Kong and different parts of the world, but you are here in Indonesia. That's called spirit.
Yes.
We all have this spirit of wanting to make a difference in this world. And so, as an entrepreneur, you gotta have that fighting spirit. Not, I'm gonna fight for JEUNESSE. No, you don't need to fight. JEUNESSE is what it is. JEUNESSE is an entity. It's a company. It is here. But what you need to have a spirit for is fighting for your dreams. When you give that spirit to your dream, it's as if you're putting wings on your dream to make it to help it take off. That's what I did. I mean, guys, now you guys have all this success story, all this diamond, and you have people from international who come through their sharing and sharing their experience and how they did what they did. 8 years ago, nobody. I mean, literally, some of you know Winnie, right? Auntie Winnie. She said, I am the oldest among you guys, okay? I don't need to, I don't need to attract any, I don't need to go on dates or anything. So therefore, I'm going to sacrifice half of my face. And she did. She put the product in the beginning on half of her face. And that's how we started it. I mean, her face is spread to all over the world. I mean, in the beginning, her face was like, crooked. And we got worried. We go, well, you know what, Winnie? I think you should double dosage on the other side. Because really it was tilted like she had a stroke or something, But that was spirit. She wanted to make a difference. So that's how we started it. Nobody made a dime yet. I still remember 8 years ago, okay, we do coffee talk. We don't have this beautiful office you're sitting in. So we went to this coffee shop, okay? We rented a little room inside a coffee shop. And we would have finger food, like French fries and grilled cheese sandwich. And so we would do a meeting, and I would do a meeting, I would do a training. So I would spend all Saturday doing all that, right? And I would talk, and at the end of the day, when everybody's leaving, guess who would pay for the bill? Me. I will go pay the bill. I do the talking. So if any logical mind, any logical person looking at this, say, Kim is crazy. She taught all day. Now remember our first check? When do we receive our first check? 3 weeks later, right? So imagine my first 3 weeks, haven't received a dime yet. But I worked and worked and worked. So a logical person would look and say, you talk to so many people, you work so many hours a day, and you haven't made a dime yet. You silly. They really thought I was silly. I said, you watch who's a silly goat later. 8 years later, it proved to be a pretty smart thing. But it wasn't free. I had to work for it. And so do all of us. You want to change your life? Work for it. Work towards it. I mean, I was so consumed. The first few years, I was consumed by JEUNESSE. I live, breathe. I mean, in my sleep, I was presenting. Seriously, I was presenting in my sleep. I don't know. I mean, I tell you, if you were to look back, pull back some of the video, if there's any video 8 years ago how I talk about JEUNESSE, you will laugh. Because I have no idea what I was talking about. Adult stem cell technology, resveratrol, I have no clue. But one thing you can see from all of my videos is this thing called passion. 8 years later, I am even more passionate about JEUNESSE than I ever was 8 years ago. How do you do that? It has to come from here, and it has to be beyond money. If money is only a factor when challenge comes, they will forget all that they have ever started with. So, having done this, now it's time for questions, okay? Because, I mean, again, I could talk all day long about this, but I want this to be for you. I am here for you. I couldn't use my flight that I had booked, so I canceled. I mean, I completely lost that, and I booked a new ticket, so I can be here in Jakarta with you guys. So I'm here for you guys, and if there's anything that I can help you with, by all means, raise your hand. No right question, no wrong question, no judgment, no opinion. So anything you want to know. Pressed when things don't go our way. Is that correct?
Yes.
Like I shared earlier today, well, thank you for that question. It actually takes a lot of courage to ask. It takes courage to ask questions, because you know what? Some people go, oh, I'm afraid what people think of me, you know? So no worries, okay? it's normal human emotion when things don't go our way. We sometimes may feel bad or we might start doubting ourselves. It's normal emotion. It's like clouds. So when those things come, it's like clouds. Clouds come and go. But here's what I would suggest. Know that the light is always within you. It's like the sun. Sun always rises in the morning. So, but there are times when we feel in despair, when we're frustrated, when we're disappointed. That all we have to do is have that awareness that light is within you. Because there might be times that we feel the darkness. We feel that we're in a dark room. That is because we have the curtains closed. We have the doors closed. And yet the sunlight is knocking on the outside. But you just have to have the awareness that, you know what? I am meant to be someone special. I am someone special. I am meant for success. And have that inner power to open up the curtain, to open up the door. For sunlight is just right outside your door. The sunlight is right within you. So let that light come out. There's no need for depression, no need for anything. Because that ability, that pill, that medicine is already within you. I know there are times it's hard. You know, when you're fighting for something that you think is you're fighting for your family. I can share that with you. You know, 20 years ago when I embarked on this journey, that I saw something that other people didn't see. You know, I remember when I first doing this industry, my sisters, my parents thought I was crazy. They said, you know what, you're a college graduate, you had a good job, you were a vice president for a company before, and why don't you go back and look for a job that are kind of a prestige, you know, like you know, good pay and good title. Why did you went to very good school, you went to good university, why you choose to do this? Now, sometimes it hurts, especially when sometimes your close friends or your near ones start laughing at you.
Yes.
I remember one of my very dear friends, when they knew that I was doing this, they thought that, oh, Kim is money crazy. I remember vividly that one time they put like a shoebox, you know, a designer shoebox, and they put in there, Kim wants a designer shoes, you know? I mean, I'm like, but what do I do? Nothing. I mean, I look at it, does it sadden me? Yeah. It's someone that was close to me, the things that I'm into, fame, I'm into, whatever. But what do? Nothing. I mean, it kind of hurt a little bit, but you just get over it. So I would suggest to you, I mean, yes, more like the spiritual way is like awaken, you know, alert, you know. But there are times when the real thing comes, you're like, shoot, man. You know, so, but just do whatever you got to do. You know, maybe punch some sandbags or whatever and just get over it and say, you know what, I'm going to open my window, let the light come in. You see, and have fun with it. Just have fun. You know, it's funny how many years ago people look at me and say, you know, Kim, you're an accountant. I was an accountant before. My undergraduate study, I graduated with an accounting degree. So they will always say, Kim, you don't know anything about sales. You don't know how to sell. You don't know sales. You are a bean counter. You only count beans. Now, that's other people's opinion of me. It's hard when that opinion comes from someone that's very near and dear to you. It hurts a little. You know, so I remember when someone near and dear said that to me, I almost had the urge to go, maybe she was right. Maybe I'm not meant for this. But then there's something, I don't know what it is. It's like intuition that tells me, a voice that tells me, you know what? You are meant to be someone bigger and better than who you are. You got to live it, and you got to listen to that voice. You have to be brave enough to listen to that voice. I'm standing right here looking at all of you. I believe all of you can be diamonds and beyond. I believe with every fiber in my being. Every fiber in my being. Every fiber in my being, you can be a diamond and beyond. You are meant to live in abundance. That's why God put us on earth. Whatever faith, whatever religion you believe in, we are meant to do something here. Just literally wake up. It's okay, sometimes normally we have some normal human emotions. Whatever, just go hit the gym, go walk in nature. That's what I do when I'm sad or the term that you use, depressed. You know what I do is I put on my tennis shoes and I go walk. I will walk for hours. I remember the neighborhood that I lived, bless you, the neighborhood that I lived before many years ago, It's not a very, posh neighborhood. It's okay, neighborhood. And so when I started this journey of entrepreneurship, when people laugh at me, reject me, they won't return my phone call, they avoid me. I mean, anything you think of, that's what happened to me. So you know what I do? But I still believe that the little still voice, the little very quiet noise. I don't know what to call it. Whatever you want to call that noise. To me, that's my higher self, higher than this thing right here. Okay. So my higher self tells me, you know what? You're gonna continue on this path. Now, keep in mind, I was broke. I had no job, but I was full of hope somewhere, somehow. So it was that little voice. So I remember I would put on my tennis shoes. I would walk for miles to a much better neighborhood. And I would deliberately get lost in that neighborhood. And I'd be walking around that neighborhood. I mean, big, huge mansions, right? So sometimes I see some car, like nice, big, fat Mercedes. When they pull the driveway, I would deliberately look at those people in the driving. And I look at that guy's face. I say, you know what, that dude don't look any better than me. He doesn't look any smarter than me. If he could do it, so can I.
Yes.
I mean, look at us. Look at me today. You probably have more bling bling in your body than me. Really. I have no jewelry. Not a penny in my pocket. Really. None. But it doesn't mean, just that whatever the outside, the materials, it doesn't mean anything. Because when we check out, we go naked. So, I hope that I answer your question. Sometimes our mind try to latch onto these feelings, It's okay, nothing wrong. But tell yourself, I'm going to get over these feelings. Because I'm not going to let these feelings to prevent that light coming out. Because you are destined to help a lot of people. With your success, with your story, I'm sure you're going to inspire a lot of people. So many years ago, they look at me, they go, you are not meant to do this business. Well, many years later, they go, ha ha ha, you are so good, you are meant to do this business. You know what I'm saying? So, it's interesting. It's my choice at that time. 20 years ago, I could have chose to listen to them and say, you know what, they were right. I'm going to go look for another job. See, many years ago, I got laid off. I got fired from my job. Not because of wrongdoing, but because of whatever. I got laid off. So if I believe and I chose what other people had said about me, if I chose to accept that, I wouldn't be here today with all of you. And then whatever that they said about me were true, became truth. But now, because I didn't believe what they said. I chose to listen to my inner voice, then I'm here today. So that's what I said earlier, that we are that seed with the freedom and free form to choose what we want to become. You want to become a beautiful oak tree, you want to become a beautiful apple tree, you want to become whatever that you want to become, it is there. But if we use our logic to question that seed, it's like if I have a seed in front of me, if you use a knife to cut open that seed, let's say I have an apple seed. If I use a knife to cut open the apple seed, do you see green leaves? Do you see like branches from the tree? Do you see an apple in that seed? You see nothing. You just see a seed cut open. Well, sometimes in life, the seed of life, who we are, that we were blessed to be given to live on earth at this moment, in this lifetime. If we were to, our logic is like that knife. If you use logic to question our own abilities, our self-worth, it's like using our logic to question the divine's gift to us. Logic is like a knife, cutting open that. Don't cut open that, don't damage that seed. It's like what Albert Einstein said. Logic will only take you from point A to point B. But imagination will take you everywhere. Many years ago, I imagined myself to be speaking to people around the world. Even though when I was broke, when people that joined me had quit, when people that had joined me had returned their packages, when people that joined me had laughed at me, people that don't join me, it doesn't matter. I would imagine, this is like more than 22 years ago. I mean, there were times, I remember vividly at night, I was in this apartment, and with this mirror, like back in the old days, with this mirror with a medicine cabinet behind, this mirror, and that's it, with a wall, plain wall, I'll be sitting right there, and I'll be pretending or imagining I was talking to people from all over, different parts of the world. And I'll be crying, and then look in the mirror, I'll be crying, in this imagination, as if it's so real. And that scene, well, not that scene, but the scene in my head became a reality. I have the blessing to travel around the world and making a positive impact. So I hope long-winded answer. I hope I answer your question. Does that answer your question? Very good. Okay. All right. Any other question? Yes, there's a lady back there. Oh, I remember you from Expo. Yes, very good.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I would like to rephrase Pak Agus' question because I haven't got the answer yet. You too, right? I think that what Pak Agus was asking just now was about there is a woman who is quite rich. Probably she has joined you, is that right? But this person doesn't want to work. So the question is, how can we move this person to work? See? And then I also have the same questions because I'm about 50s. That's my age. And then my community is about 50s too.
Okay.
And then most of them are rich enough, they can join me. But unfortunately, none of them would like to work.
Okay.
So how can we move those people to work?
Okay, what was your first name again?
My name, Fuina.
Frina, would you
Yes.
come up here, please? Come on up, give her a big round of applause. I think I met you in Singapore, right? No, Thailand.
No, in Thailand. Yes.
Thailand. At the expo, right?
Yes.
Now, to my knowledge, you yourself are pretty well off too. Why are you doing this?
And my question to you, how many people are like me and like Ibu Jenny?
Very good.
That's
I
right.
wanted you to answer my question first.
Like I said to you that first time actually I was attracted to the product. I was introduced the product by one of my student parents. Yeah. And then I did not feel good to reject. So that's why I joined. And then I met Ibu Jenny, and I could see the fact that Ibu Jenny has got a very smooth skin, I would love to. That's why I joined.
Okay.
After
Why did you
joining,
work? Yeah, okay.
after joining for a few weeks, and I was thinking that, well, I want to keep using this product. Then if it is good, if I can find more people to work in this business, probably I don't need to spend money, to buy those products. That's number one. Number two, they keep telling me that you can help people. Then I'm thinking to help people too, but I don't know anything. I don't know how to explain about the platform of this business. At the time, Pak Joko actually came to Pontianak and helped us a lot. So, just that actually, nothing much.
Very good. Now, but you see, it was a process for her, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't an immediate thing, I'm going to go crazy like this, like Ibu Jenny, right? So what attracted you in the beginning was good product. Then slowly and surely, you met other people. You go, that's a possibility. Then, no matter how rich you are, if you can get something for free, would be nice, right? So then you go, well, I can get the products for free by introducing a few people. And then, at the same time, she also learned that by doing that, she can also help other people, which she wants to do. Then slowly, step by step, then she got more involved. True or not true?
That's right.
You even spent your own money, flew to Thailand to attend the expo.
Yes.
Right? So what did you see at the expo? How did you feel?
It's great.
It's
I
great.
feel great, yes.
Okay. So now your next question to ask me is, how many people are like you out there?
That's right. And how many people are like Ibu Jenny? Not
You know,
many.
Well, you can say not many, or you can say a whole lot. I could tell you, I have met a lot of them. If you were to attend our event in Greater China, you will see, or even Los Angeles, before they come to JEUNESSE, they will drive Bentley, big fat Mercedes to come to meetings. We actually have several meetings in Los Angeles. One of them is during the daytime because to accommodate all the moms, the stay-home moms or the business people. You'll be blown away with the people that are showing up. I mean, they're a lot more decked out than me, which I'm just in jeans. But I'm telling you, you'll be amazed. But people come in for different reasons. Some come in for most of them, the rich Tai in the beginning, they come in just like you because they want good product for good health and beauty. But then they fell in love with the platform, and so the more and more they learn, they become want to do this. You know, our double diamond. There's so many stories I want to share with you. But there's a double diamond called Chloe. Have you met Chloe? Chloe from Los Angeles. She has a Bentley. Her house is like a royal palace in Los Angeles. Okay, so she has never worked a day of her life. Never worked a job. Now she makes more money than her husband. She's a double diamond. Never worked a day of her life. We also have Tracy. Tracy, same thing, ultra rich family, never work a day of their lives. They now work harder than perhaps you and me combined. Now, yeah. So, as a matter of fact, we were all in Taiwan. They are now roaming around in Greater China. They're not home. These are wives who never work a day of their lives. They don't even do dishes. I do dishes at home. They don't do dishes. I do. So, there's Lisa, a diamond director. Some of you met her, some of you haven't. Lisa Wang. Come from a real estate their family owns real estate development businesses. She's retired. She don't need to make money. But she's now happily as a world traveling woman. I mean, it's depending where we look. You know, when you look at something, it's either half empty, half full. And so, of course, how many people we have to talk to find those people? I don't know. But within your circle, see, this is the thing. It's to manage our own set of expectations. When you talk to, see, it's how you go approach the business opportunity. So I would say this, when you talk, it's a numbers game. It's totally a numbers game. The law of average. If you talk to 100 of the rich Tai, maybe 10 will join you. Out of 10 will join you, maybe 1 or 2 will go crazy. But when do they come about? We don't know. You know, the 10 people may come out to talk to 80 of them. Then the next 10 come. Maybe the first, I don't know how many Tai rich people you have spoken to. You know, sometimes we just have to be willing to go through the number, but they are out there. They may be crazier than Ibu Jenny and me and you combined. But they are out there. We have, I tell you, if you look at the kind of the caliber of people that we have, I would say in our organization, 80% of the diamonds in our organization are people that have never ever got involved in this industry before. Never. And 80% of them are professionals and business owners. So depending where we looked, where we are, it's out there. Don't think that you are Long Island. You are not. I remember 20 years ago when I first got involved in this industry, to my upline and the people that are around me, they always sell my story because they say that I'm a breath of fresh air to network marketing. Because they said network marketing industry are people that have no education, that are poor, broke, hopeless, and helpless. But I was different. They go, wow, you have a college degree. Wow, you're a corporate executive before. They didn't know behind all that title and education, I was broke. They didn't know that. And they also didn't know that I have dreams and desire that it couldn't be fulfilled at a job that I got laid off. So people, we can't, we all know the saying that you can't judge a book by its cover. So same thing. You don't know what's behind the heart of your rich friends. You are rich, but why are you doing this? But don't think you're crazy. Know that you're doing something great for humanity. When you know that, you are not afraid to share that with people. All right, so can you give her a big round of applause? No? Oh, I need my mind. Okay, question number 1 is where do I draw my inspirations? At different stage of my career, I draw my inspiration from different places. But ultimately, in the beginning, I drew my inspiration from my dream, from things I wanted to accomplish. So that's my driving force. That is a fuel for the fuel that fuels me is my dream. So that is, and also I remember many years ago, I had this collage. I have a book that I will collect pictures of things I like. I remember, I used to have a home before. Then in my entrepreneurship, then, I couldn't afford it, then I lost my home. So then I moved into an apartment. And so when I had an apartment, you had a home before and then you had an apartment. That's not too sexy, And so what did I do? Then I would then go clip the magazine, It doesn't have to be a big house. It was like, it could be just a picture of an island, with a beautiful marble island, and I would clip that, or it could be a beautiful, cozy bathroom, beautiful one, and I clip that. So I have a collage of pictures that inspire me, that fuels me. Because, ultimately, we have to, those are little things that inspirations I draw from. All I wanted was like a little, it doesn't have a big, huge mansion. It's a little cozy place with a little garden. So those are things that inspire me. So I have a collage book that I look at all the time. So that's on one point of my career, that's what inspired me. Now, what inspires me are your stories. Each and every time when I travel, it's very tiring. We landed here, literally change and then go talk to people. Meetings after meeting. Let me tell you my story. I remember when I first built Indonesia, I would take a flight, midnight flight, red-eye flight from LA, got to Taipei at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then their flight to Indonesia not until 2 o'clock. So at the lounge, you roam around for 6 hours, then you fly for 6 hours, got over here, and you know what, back then, Yen Yen doesn't yield. There's no mercy. You just work. So I got here, changed, a little messy in my hair, and then boom, I will go talk to people until late. Like they don't let you rest, So you work and work and work until you drop, and then I go to my room like drop dead, And I would do that a few days, and then I would go home. And when I go home, I don't rest. At that time my son's only 6 years old. So I will go home and we'll work, and you had a team in LA, you should back into the groove. But I could tell you that each and every time I travel until now, 8 years later, when I meet with people like you guys, when I hear your story, that's why I like to ask questions. When I hear your stories, when I hear your questions, when I see when I see your ups and downs, and when you are down, know that I'm right here with you. When you're down, your frustration, when you're down the valley, I was there too. So, when I hear stories, and people like Teal, when I heard about his story, so inspiring. So that's where I draw my inspirations. Now this time in Taiwan, we had a leadership retreat of 200 people from all over different parts of the world, all came together. And when they share their story of what their desires are, of what they wanted to do, I was moved to tears. So those are my inspirations. And sometimes after traveling for a long time, I told myself, I'm going to chill. I'm not going to travel for a while. But you can't. But the minute you go back home, you remember all these stories, my feet gets itchy again. As I got to get on a plane, So everywhere I go, these are my inspirations. You all are my inspirations. Truly, you are all my inspirations. So when you do this is above and beyond money. I am tremendously blessed financially. But whatever we do right now is above and beyond money. So I think nature, humanity, there's gifts everywhere. And there are inspirations everywhere. Especially coming to a country like this, when you hear people that used to make $150 US a month, now making 10 times that, or 50 times that. You couldn't help but seeing what the opportunity had done for people. And so last but not least, I will tell this story. I think it was January this year when we had an event in Hong Kong. Then, Harris and I went a long way. We've known each other for more than 10 years. And I remember my first time to Hong Kong, I met Harris. He would take me to take buses, like public transportation. And I said, Harris, you walk so fast, can you slow down? You know how Harris walked, right? He walked a lot slower in Jakarta. You should see him how he walked in Hong Kong. Really, really fast. And I was wearing my high heel, right? And, now when I go to Hong Kong, he had drivers picking me up. And, beginning of this year, he had invited me to the brand new home that he bought, where his mom and his family stayed together. Just watching his mom, how proud his mom was about his son. That look is priceless. That look is worth every ounce of my efforts, tirelessly, different parts of the world. So that is my inspiration. You watch people's parents, watching so happy, so content about their children's success. That is my inspiration. So I draw my inspiration from everywhere, even from today. Just your presence. That's my gift, and that's my inspiration. So I hope that answers your question. First, they have a positive outlook. Okay, so positive. Number 2, they are chasing you to bring you people. See, there are people that are positive, but they kept asking you a bunch of questions. But the ones that I spend my time with are people that are into positive productions, activities, positive activities. So positive in attitude. The other one is productive activities. Productive activities. They are chasing you for activity. For example, they say, listen, your name is
Jeanette.
Jeanette. So Jeanette, I have 5 people I would like for you to meet. Can you take time for me? What would you say? Yes. Right?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
If they keep chasing you, I got this and that person. Can you help me with 3-way? Can you make time for them? That's what I spend time with.
Yes.
People say, well, I have so many questions, Can you answer my question? How do I take this product? Is this product safe? All those stuff, is it productive? Is it productive activity? No. People ask me, well, how do I use this product? I say, great question. We have a YouTube channel. We have a doctor that explains to you. Truly.
Longevity TV.
Longevity TV, right?
Yes.
Jeanette's product. I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm a housewife. You don't want to hear from me. Great question. I send them to that link. So I will spend my time with people that are positive, people that have productive activity. Number 3 thing I will spend on is people that wanted to take over. Meaning people that want to duplicate you. So people that are wanting to duplicate. Meaning they wanted to lead as well. Now, here's the difference. There are some that says, you teach me everything I know, I'm going to go present. I don't need people to just go present. I want people that could produce and present. Because you know what? We don't need any professional presenter. You know what professional presenters are? People that present and present and present, but they couldn't produce. If they couldn't produce and they present and they present and they present, are they making money? Are they a good example you want to duplicate? No. If I can't make money and I talk a great talk, what good does it do for you? It's empty inside. You understand? What a beautiful thing when you're making a lot of money and you're presenting. That's a beautiful inspiration. Are you guys with me so far?
Yes.
So therefore, the people that are coachable, they also want to duplicate what you do. That's what I spend time on. Now, there are some people, all they do every day is take people to you, and take people to you. And they don't even, sometimes, why are you talking to their people? They go shopping. Or they buy coffee, they don't want to learn. See, in the beginning, short term, you could do that. Because you need the production. You need the sales to generate revenue, to help you make money. In the beginning, you do that. But you know what? Ultimately, you'll be a nanny. You'll be doing all the work. And there's no duplication. Unless through all the people that they give you, that you find few good ones that you teach, you can train them what to do. Ideally, what you want is someone that can produce and someone that also wants to take over and learn and lead. Because if you are always the one that present and train, guess what? The minute you stop training and presenting, guess what happened to your income? No more. So the right people I would spend my time is those who are positive in attitude, in thought, productive activities. Not doing research. I'll give you an example. I mean, many of you know Samson, right? Samson, in the beginning, is Mr. Research. He was the one that I spent the least amount of time with. Because every time we sit down, he would tell me what he found on the internet. Maybe we should do social media. Maybe da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, this is what I say, Samson, just get off your butt and go to work. Seriously. Get some productive activities. So, but he's good. He wanted to learn. He's very positive. He lacked this. He wanted to duplicate. Okay? So, but then we know when you work with people, sometimes we're like a shrink, we're like a teacher, we're like a coach. So you need to know what your people are lacking. I know Samson had a good heart, was very positive. He wanted to duplicate, but he just lacked activity. So I would say, hey Samson, go get something done right here. Go work on this. Are you guys with me so far? Yes. It's very simple. It's like, a doctor taking a pulse. You look at your team, you know what's working, what's not. You know your people. Okay? So these are the 3 qualities I would look for. If I'm going to spend, of course, above and beyond that, you want people with a good heart. There are some that all they want to do is duplicate. I want to learn from everything you do, and then you're out of the way. Okay? So, I mean, but it's a dime a dozen, so it's, to me, it's whatever, but you could feel. But the key thing positively, the three things I look for are these three qualities. Okay? People that are coachable, meaning they're willing to learn and open to learn. I tell you, I have seen so many leaders that have spent all their time doing nanny work, there are people that are very productive, they can bring you people all day long. But that person that brings people, they just dump it on you and they disappear. I said, I would tell them, so listen, I can only handle for so long. If they are making money, you tell them, you need to go, if you want to duplicate, you need to do this. If they tell you, look, that's all I would do, I would throw people to you. If you understand that, you accept that, you need the volume, you work it. But hopefully through all the people they throw at you, you find a few good leader and you work with them. Okay? So the best method, the right method to me, it's not right or wrong, because the wrong one, you learn from it. Okay? But the effective method for us, how you effectively train them and to duplicate, I would say, you know what? Leverage events. Okay? So what are events? Anything that they can learn and grow and promote the business opportunity, promote a platform, promotes learning and growing, those are all events. For example, a local meeting like this, that's an event. Okay? A regional event, or the expo that we just had in Thailand, okay? Or Zoom. So anything, and I tell you what, Zoom is such an effective tool. We've been using it, before Zoom, we've been using webinars, right? From webinar, now we're upgraded to Zoom. Zoom, if you learn how to use it properly, you're able to connect people from all over the world. I tell you, there's a lot of Indonesians all over the world. There's a lot of Indonesian in LA. So if you learn to tap root, you know what tap root is? If you learn to, this is a tree, right? So you have your tree, but underneath the tree there are roots. These are your branches. If you need to tap it, you never know who they will lead you to. Different places. So that's how you branch out. We are a global business platform. But a lot of people use this global platform as a local platform. This is like a Ferrari. Those board guys, you guys like Ferrari, right? This is a Ferrari, but many people drive this Ferrari like it's a bicycle. Why do I have a business that's spread to over 100 countries and territory? It's not that I'm any good. I haven't been to 100 countries and territories. But I'm good at tapping root. Like for example, if company have an event opening up in Dubai, through your network, you tap the root. Hey, there's an event happening in Dubai. And then you send them over there. Or now with Zoom, we have one Zoom in the cloud. All your contacts from different parts of the world plug into Zoom. What we have to do is we have to learn to do the ABC.
Yeah.
So one very effective thing that we have to learn to do is what Patrick talked about. Do our ABC. What is the effective way to promote events? Now again, events could be anything. Could be a Zoom conference call, could be a recorded video. On USGS official channel, there's a lot of videos, right?
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to promote that. Promote means tee up, means edify. Okay? So now remember what Patrick talked about, you gotta learn how to be a good B, a super B. A B is, you are the distributor, you are the B, right? So a C is a customer or potential prospect, right? So this is a prospect, right? Potential recruit. So A, who's the A? Expert. Who is the expert? Anyone but you. Anyone but us. Depending on who I talk to. If I want to talk to my daddy, you are my expert. If I want you to talk to my sisters, you are my expert. So anybody but us. Okay? So between you and C, you guys have hopefully trust, right?
Yes.
Okay? So your job is, this is you, right? Your job is to edify. Say some good things about A. Why? So that the C will respect the A. Now, this is a process called edification. I've taught this many, many years ago, and I will still continue to share this. Is that if you want to master how to do this business, remember mastering the basics, you got to learn how to do your ABCs. In this event, it's a matter of edifying the expert. But actually, you can plug this edification to anything, to events. to videos, to anything. Like we have made this event, we have this video called, I think we made this called the New Paradigm Wow video. Do we have it in Bahasa, the Wow video?
Yes.
We do, okay? So I guess they said that my journey video is not in Bahasa, so I'm trying to get that done in Bahasa as well. So, but anyway, it could be anything. It could be training by Yvonne Yan, it could be training by Patrick, whatever. But you gotta learn how to tee that up, how to what? Edify. Because you just send a link to your people, say, hey, watch this link. They might just chuck it. They won't even pay attention. So you know what? If I were to send you a video, about 4 minutes long, but the information contained in the video could change your life, would you watch it? 4 minutes. Would you invest 4 minutes that can change your life? So you gotta tee it up, you know? So they say, okay, great. Don't send it to them until they respond. You send it to them, then you follow up. So edification works beautifully. It could be on anything. But sometimes we want it so much. It happens all the time in our business. It doesn't matter who it is. Like I remember wherever I travel to, our B have a tendency to edify the C rather than the A. So because they want it so much, they have so much respect for the C. They begin to edify so much. So when the A and the C meet, the C works like this. I have nothing to say. And so there's nothing right or wrong. It's just that edification process. If we learn anything at all today on the skill set on how to do this business, is master the art of edification. Edification doesn't mean to add a lie. It's to edify the truth. It doesn't have to be money. It could be that person's quality. What are the good traits of that person? And go from there. Okay, so edification. So I hope that this helps you. All right. How are we doing the time? What time is it now? 3. Everybody has their own journey. Harris is I'm just speaking for him. Harris is a very logical guy. Even this morning when we're having breakfast and I was pointing out certain things, you can look at his face, he completely didn't get me. And he chose not to even, he might not even notice it. I'm just saying in public, sorry Harris, I'm going to tell you, this morning at breakfast, whatever I said, he's like he's Mr. Wood. Wood have no emotions. Chinese wood is funny, 木头人. And that's how he is. He's no emotion. And so, if you ask me what he didn't do right, I don't know. It's been so long already. But Harris is whatever I say, it didn't process, it didn't pass his logic, then he just doesn't do. And something very vivid maybe, Harris liked to do things his way. That's one thing for sure. He liked to do things his way. So, and thank you for bringing that up actually. It's all kinds and all things. So when Harris does his way, I don't take it personal. I knew that when the right time comes, he would switch. So I just let him do whatever he does. I don't remember because it's so many years ago. If I had to remember what someone didn't do right, I wouldn't be where I am here today. But I want to thank you for asking that. So I don't know what he did right, what he didn't do right. Maybe you can ask him. But I do want to say this, is that, another example, like Samson, for example. Samson's Mr. Research. For the first year, he spent months. Keep in mind, at that time he's broke, he had no money. But he would spend time in research and research and research and research. Every time he picked me up from the airport, he goes, this is what I found out. Here's what I found out. I'm like, dude, get over this, So I don't look at what they didn't do right. It's not what I said was right. Whatever I said is whatever I said here today. Whatever I said 8 years ago is what I continue to say. Is do activities that generates, activity doesn't necessarily mean productivity, but do activities that generates productivity. That's important. I think we're going to distinguish activity versus productivity. What do I mean? There are people that go meet with people for coffee, after coffee have no results. Because they will invite people out for coffee. Oh, let's come out for coffee, let's catch up. And you catch up, you have no clarity. You say, I invite this person out for business. I'm here to talk business. Okay, they're so afraid to tell them what it is. So activity, meeting people doesn't necessarily mean productivity. So I think we got to draw the distinction ourselves. So I know that it might not be that what you're looking for, but maybe if you want to invite Harris to ask him what he did, you want to listen to him what he did right, didn't do right?
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Harris, come on now. No free lunch. You had a big lunch today. Harris, what did you
do.
Not do. What did you not do?
Kim, as you say, so many years ago, I forgot it. But I have a suggestion to you. I think in the past way, I always think what should do and what should not do. It make me slow down the process. And nowadays, I think you don't need to struggle much on what should do, what should not do. Just do it.
Just do it.
Because I've done that when I don't think too much, just do it. I also will make some mistake, but I can learn from the mistake. If I don't do it anything, I cannot learn anything. The most important thing is we can learn and grow every day. No matter you make many mistakes, you can learn from the mistake. You will be expert in one day.
Yes,
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to clarify. Thank you.
You know, it's human perception. Remember what I said earlier? The definition of success is different with different people, depending on the circumstances, the situation, the angles, and the position where they're sitting. When you look at certain things, depending on where you're sitting, you look at different views, yeah? So, same thing for you. Ultimately, it depends on how open that one person is. If that person is completely closed, they won't even let the light in. There's no way for them to even learn about how great the products are. The only thing they can hear is network marketing. The only thing that they heard is MLM, pyramid, gone, done, closed, don't talk to me no more. I remember many years ago, you know, Winnie and I went to talk to somebody, right? And, you know, so Winnie started talking to this lady. This lady goes, oh, MLM, no, stay away. You know, but at that time when you do, you just thank them. Now, so I want to go back to that for real. When people ask me, is this MLM? So, depends on what age of my career you ask me, okay? So, in my younger days, if this is MLM, I would start attacking them, you know? But now I would say, well, what do you know about MLM? So you want to get their feel first. What do you got now? Oh, I hate MLM. You know, whatever. I mean, whatever they say, okay? Then you would say, you know what, and do the 3 Fs. You know what the 3 Fs are? Like, let's say, for example, you tell me, you know, I really don't like MLM. And you know what I would tell them? Say, you know what, I know exactly how you feel. As a matter of fact, I felt the same way too. I don't like MLM. Just like exactly what you told me. So when you said that, they go, she's the same with me. So you put their guard down. But let me tell you what I found out. What I found out that this platform is similar to MLM, but it has something amazing. I found that this platform is the future. It's like Alibaba, right? And also it's the future platform, an amazing product. More importantly, I felt that I met the people that are involved. They are great people. It's not what I thought it used to be. So you do the 3 Fs, feel, felt, found. So instead of debating with them and going butt heads with them, you do the 3 Fs. But if after all that, they still don't get it or they don't even let you have a chance to speak, I literally have a high school friend that I went to high school with, and she would say, one more word from you, no more friendship. I mean, literally. And I have to honor that. I said, you know what, fine, thank you, goodbye. I mean, you know, we're still friends. But many, many, many years later, she joined me. She did. So, you know, did she do anything? No. But are we still good friends? Yes. But, you know, I wouldn't take it personal. You see what I'm saying? So, some, no matter what it is, they love it. I don't care what you call it, MLM, pyramid, whatever, they love it. Some just don't. I mean, unfortunately, human, the minute we label something, that thing is fixed. There's no other room to change. So I guess from that experience, we all learn to leave things open, in an open form and shape. Like instead of labeling this as an easel, I mean, I would not, when you don't label it, then it could be anything. It could be a tri-stand to help me hold things up. It could be a tabletop, So I think just that labeling is we can't help. We cannot change people. The only thing is if there's a door that we're willing to crack open, that we can share with our thoughts. If not, move on. What's the 4FSW?
Some will, so what? Next.
Someone's
You
waiting.
guys miss someone's waiting. Someone's always waiting. To the lady that looking for like the rich Tai Tai that want to see it, how many people like yourself and Ibu Jenny? A lot. It's a 4SW. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Next. See, a lot of people get stuck on the next one because they forgot that someone's waiting. I believe someone's always waiting. There's a lot of rich Tai Tai. There's, or either rich Tai Tai or empty nesters. I mean, if I would tell you some of my friends in LA that are doing this business, you'd be blown away. I mean, we're talking about international rich Tai Tais. They love this. They might not go heavy like us, going crazy doing this every day. But, one lady's house, like she has a 20,000 square foot home. I'm like, whoa, why are you doing this? It's fun, part of the club, So people do different things, So I just like to hang out with you guys. You guys are a bunch of positive people.
Yeah.
And we are. We go sometimes, we go hiking together, we go to Big Bear, So it's fun, So anyway, any more questions? See, this will help. Because I didn't plan to come to Indonesia. We had a big social responsibility event in Taiwan, and it's very moving because, after 8 years of being entrepreneur and traveling the world, we're able to have a lot of success. So it's really amazing experience in Taiwan the past few days. We had people from 13 or 14 different countries all gathered together in Kaohsiung, and we did a great event to help raise awareness of inspiring the youth to do something with their lives and to pursue their dreams. So it was a very meaningful event. And after that, we had a leadership retreat. And because this trip in Indonesia was a surprise visit, we forgot to book hotel the last night in Taiwan. So the last evening before coming over here, I had broke a record. We had a 10-hour massage at a spa. So when I check in the hotel here, look at the bed, I said, that bed looks really good. But I know that I couldn't rest in the bed because otherwise I wouldn't wake up. But anyway, it's a pleasure for me to be here, to be back in Indonesia. We're really grateful for Indonesia because Indonesia is one of the countries that really helped us put the flag for JEUNESSE. And many of you guys, especially the pioneers, were the one that set the success stories and that really inspired other countries to follow. So I'm very grateful for Ibu Jenny for all the hard work that she has done. And I know that the past few years have helped change many people's lives. But tonight, especially, I see a lot of new faces here. It's a great feeling to see new birth and new faces in a company that has grown tremendously. For an entrepreneur, for me, as a woman, as a mother, to watch a company, to have helped build the company from zero to become a billion-dollar brand, it's remarkable. The last 8 years, the company cumulatively, I think we did close to $4 billion in sales. And out of $4 billion, I think approximately over $2 billion were paid out in commissions. Wow. I mean, think about how many millionaires were created. I mean, it's really remarkable how that has changed our lives. And so when Ibu Jenny asked me to come here to Indonesia, then I said, well, not only will I come, I'll bring my 2 brothers here. So I'm very grateful that Patrick and Harris decided to join me to be here, and it's so good to see so many new faces here. And I know that you guys have worked very, very hard. And I know it's dinner time, so I'm not gonna hold too long. So let's have dinner, enjoy our dinner, and then afterwards, I agree. We'll spend an hour. If you have any questions, I'm here at your service. So just understand that now these days I no longer wear bling blings, and so I told Ibu Jenny, she goes, I got you a makeup artist, and I said, you know what? This is the most fancy outfit I have on this trip, So I will come as I am, and so that I hope that you see who we are. I mean, I tell you, after 8 years, I don't really care what I wear anymore. I mean, it's just whatever it is, and I hope that you see us for who we really are. And so we have done really remarkable things for this company and in society. So enjoy the dinner, and then after dinner, we're all at your service. Whatever we can be of help, answer whatever questions you might have. we're here. So thank you very much for your presence. Are you, who's asking this question? Can I show of hands? Oh, your team, okay. Are you asking the qualities from a good upline, or are you asking that of yourself? How to be a good upline?
How to be a good
How to be a good upline? I would say this. How would you, see, when we're in a business for ourselves, how would you lead yourself? I always go from within ourselves first. So how would you, when you engage in a business, how do you motivate yourself to work? So you start with that. I'll give you a more concrete example. Okay, when I first started my business, then we need to first make money. We need to create a story. We need to have two stories, right? We need to have a check story and a product story. So the first thing we do is we gotta use a product, right? So people can see. And then second thing is I need to make money. So what do? I need to go start talking to people. So to be a good upline is no different. Let's say that I sponsored you. So I will share with you the things I do. Now, will I push you? No, I won't. Because if I push you, it doesn't do any good. You gotta find that when you find the right people, they will do what you do. But because if you have to constantly push people and motivate people, you're being a nanny. You're babysitting. You guys with me so far? I mean, I remember, 8 years ago, there's 4 people that I work with. I tell them, I said, listen, if you don't work, I'm gonna go find those who will work. But I am here for you. So I will guide them in what to do. I said, look, your first 30 days is line up all the people, entrepreneurs, people that want to make money. And you can bring them to me and we'll talk. But will I call them every day? I won't. Because see, what you're looking for is looking for people that want to build something. But if people have certain ideas of, they're doing really well in their business and they're not open or whatever, I leave them alone. Are you guys with me so far? So how to be a good upline, how to lead. People say, well, how do I become a good leader? It's like how to be a good upline, right? I would say, how would you lead yourself to work every day? And I will start with that. How you lead yourself is how you lead other people. We can't expect other people to do the things when we don't do ourselves. You see what I'm saying? People say, well, how come my business is stuck? How come my business is where it should be? I said, well, listen, what are you doing every day? What do you do every day? See, when we examine our very own activities, then we know what to expect from other people. You can't expect other people to do what you don't do. Just that would be my thing. Okay, now next is how do you deal with burnout other than coming back to your why? Practical tips. How do you deal with burnout? Meaning you yourself burn out? How do you deal with burnout? Well, depends what kind of burnout. I mean, can you give me a specific example of burnout? Who wrote that? Can you give me a specific example? Okay.
We are constantly rejected by people.
Uh-huh.
Where we really meant well for them, intended well, thought that this could help them to. Yeah, when we are
rejection.
Constantly, hit by rejection.
Yeah.
And when we really put in efforts to go through the number,
Yeah.
and constantly knocked down, hit
Okay.
by the rejection rocket. So when we experience a burnout stage. So what is the top secret that we can always go back to our why, that will be the biggest motivator. But beside that, is there any other secret to stay resilient?
I think you know the answer. We all do. We all do. How do we deal with burnouts? Do I get burnouts? Do we get rejections? We all do. It's how you look at those rejections. How many rejections are we speaking of? It's very interesting. I mean, if we really think about it, I mean, I hear this a lot. Oh my gosh, all my friends rejected me. All of them say no to me. I burned out my network. I have nobody else no more. I said, well, how many are we talking about?
From my own warm market, even the new people that I meet, that where I put in efforts to build.
How many? 100?
No.
Okay. 50?
About 50, yeah.
About 50, okay. You know, we have a saying in our industry that you are one recruit away from explosion. What if after 50, see, you gotta have that trust factor. Trust in that you are destined to succeed. So what if your number 51 is a Ibu Jenny? What if your number 60 is a Harris Tank? What if your number 80 is a Patrick? Okay, I can give you an example. You know, do we have any realtors? People sell real estate in the audience? Any realtors? You guys have realtors in here in Indonesia?
Real estate.
Real estate, realtors, okay. You guys what do you call it? Brokers?
Property agent.
Property agent, okay. Now we call it realtors back home, okay. But either way, so in real estate, property agents, every home you show, is it guaranteed a sale? No. Sometimes you show houses after houses, you open house, right? You show home after home. And sometimes if you find a client that like the home, they might not qualify to purchase the home. At least that's how it works in the States. So do you give up? No, you don't. You see, when you know what you're after, you have to understand. I will give you some tips on how to overcome that. But at the same time, when you know what you're going after, what you're looking for, tell me, when you talk to people, what are you looking for?
My first wish is to get them to see what I see, the potential of what JEUNESSE is able to offer.
Okay.
So usually what I do is I will find out their needs.
Okay.
It can be product or it can be people who are looking for more in life, typically financial.
And what are you looking for?
For me, I'm looking for two things, either consumer or business builder.
Okay. I would suggest this. To build, if you're going to spend time to build a business, I'm out there looking for entrepreneurial-minded people that want to build something. See, if you have put that thought out there, that I am out there looking for business builders. If I had to spend time to look for consumers, I'm wasting my time. Because, and during the process of looking for people that want to build a business, when they say no to the business, at least I get a consumer out of them. You understand? If I go looking for consumer and they say no to my product, then I have no more chance for entrepreneurs. Are you guys, you with me so far? So if you know that, look, when I'm going to talk to somebody, I'm out there looking for a business partner. I'm out there looking for someone that built internet to help me build within a big conglomerate, with building my business within their business, with a big conglomerate. That's what I'm looking for. I think when you talk to your people or your prospect, having clarity of what you're looking for is important. So understanding that you're out there looking for another entrepreneur just like yourself. I will start with that. Because if we are like, oh, I'm looking for either a consumer or a business partner, it just lacks a clarity. Because when you talk to people, people can feel it. You say, listen, you know what, I came across an amazing platform that allows me to work from home and put in my flexible time, but at the same time, I can participate in this global economy. See, you gotta talk the big picture. And so that's what you're looking for. You don't need a whole lot of people. Look, if you really, are you willing, let me ask you this question. Are you willing to go through 500 people if your 501 person is an Yvonne Yan? Are you willing to go through that? That'll solve your problem. It's out there. It is out there. Are you willing to go through 1,000 people to find someone like me? It's out there. You see, it's not that I'm good. It's I am able to bring other people that are better than me. But see, when you trust the law of number, It's really, there's in a number that's called the law of averages, right? You know how you overcome the law of averages? It's one law, called the law of large numbers. Trust me, 20 years ago, I've done this. When I first got into this industry, they say, the law of average, and I didn't understand what it means, And so back in 20 years ago, my first company back in the States, in the 80s, in America, back in the old days, we only have one telephone company, long distance company. When we call from America to Singapore to Indonesia, we have to use one telecom company. And so back in the 80s, the American government had deregulated it. That means they allow other telecom company to get into the marketplace. So I was working with that company. And so they said the law of average. I go, what does that mean? So you know what? And I went to all my war market, and then I told my sponsor I burned down my war market. So I want to test the law of average. And so what I did back then was I get a clipboard, because we had to switch customer from the monopoly to the smaller guys, right? So I went to a flea market. We call it swap meet back at home, okay? So I went to swap meet, and I was trying to switch customers. So I tell you what, if I was willing to go through 100 people, I would get 10 customers. But the thing is, you don't know when the 10 will come. My very first one could come on the 30th asking. Maybe to some other people, the first one will come on the 40th asking. But if you're willing to go through 100, you get 10. Just the law of average. And then I let a team of people to do the same thing, and we did a whole statistic thingy. And it's a law of average. But you must be willing to go through the number. Some people quit way too early. Some people quit at the 38. Because after 38 people, they haven't gotten one yet, and they quit. But if you're willing to go through the number, you'll get it. And so that's tip number one. Okay? Tip number two is the way in which you ask. The way in which you approach people. There are different things. And I can share with you, some of the stuff we're going to go over tomorrow in the training. But I can share with you this. A lot of times people think that your sponsor or your leader can do magic. I think the way in which we prep the situation, the way in which we approach our prospect or we prep the situation is very important to set the stage for the prospect to the openness and the readiness to look at the opportunity. And so I'll give you one perfect example. I have somebody that are new in the business, but he was so desperate and so eager to get somebody to look at the business. So he thought that by just having them to talk to me, then automatically I'll get them in the business. It doesn't work like that. So long story short, this person asked, say, hey, you know what? Would you be open to talk to my upline with whatever, right? And so the person told my friend this thing, which I didn't know what he told him. So long story short, then this person said, Kim, this person's ready for you. He's open to talk to you. So then I texted this person. I said, listen, my friend said that you're interested in looking at our platform, and that maybe perhaps, I have this hour open and I can give you a ring. And this person, no, that's not what I told your friend. I told your friend that my plates are full. If she called me, she may be wasting her time. Now that's very different than but it's not his fault, but it's just the way things work out. Because we seem to be so eager to get somebody to put in front of the upline or to put in front of somebody. So the way in which we prep a situation, we approach a prospect is very important. So we'll go over some of this detail tomorrow, okay? But at least I want to make sure I address, part of it. Are you getting it? Is it better? Does it help you? All right, very good. Now I need my reading glasses.
Oke, teman-teman, ini karena waktu yang sangat singkat, tolong mungkin alat makan semua bisa ditaruh dulu karena dari tadi kita dengar di depan ini berisik sekali. Jadi kita appreciate time yang sangat berharga ini. Put down semuanya dulu, jadi perhatikan apa yang mau disampaikan Kim. Oke, next.
What did you say?
I say
Too noisy.
stop eating.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. No, it's okay, it's okay.
It's noisy.
Oh, okay. If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me, okay? So, we're really casual in the States, so don't worry about it. All right. But thank you, though. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Okay, let's go. How much time should we spend on networking events, meeting new people? You know, okay. There's no standard of operation. I mean, how much time? I don't know, until you get the right people. Are you with me so far? Is this a Singaporean that wrote this? Must be Singaporean. Okay?
SOPs for everything.
I know how it works. I've lived in Singapore for a while, okay?
The manual.
You know, it's interesting. I mean, Singapore is very, it's good. It's very structured. You know, we need like, you know.
Guilty.
It's okay. I mean, it's all good. You know, look, guys, it's really all good. I don't know. I mean, first of all, I myself don't go to networking events. Even though I know oftentimes we say, you know what, I burned out all my network, all my friends said no to me, you know, until now, 20-somewhat years later, I have not burned out my network. And people say, well, I'm going to keep because you're very outgoing. Opposite. I am an introvert. I don't say a whole lot of words. Like if you sit at the dinner, the one that talk a whole lot is Patrick. Really, he's like a peacock. I mean, he just like, he loves to talk. So when you do that at training, you know, he's a social butterfly, okay? Harris and me, on the other hand, we're very quiet. When I'm alone, I'm very quiet. But when it's business, you know, you just, I don't have a whole lot of friends because I'm not a social butterfly. But when it comes to business, I make an effort. Because the way I look at it is, I am out there looking for entrepreneurs. I'm looking for people out there that want to help me. Together, we build an international business. So as far as how much time I should spend, I don't know. How much time do you want to spend finding the right people? It's a matter of, you don't, look, I always tell people, you don't need to find a whole lot of people. If you find one good one, you know, you could be sad. If you're lucky, you find two good ones, then you'll be maxing out. One on the left, one on the right? So there's no how much time, you know.
That's very interesting that you said, you know, that you have not exhausted the warm market.
I have not.
Even though you don't
20-somewhat years.
actively meet a lot of new people.
Yeah, let me kind of clarify a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, there are those that have rejected us in the past, or that misunderstood what we do. You can always go back to them. Or maybe perhaps now you gain a different insight about what it is that you do. Then you now go back to them with a whole different approach. So that's why I would say I have not exhausted all my warm market yet, until now. So of course there were those that had rejected me in the past. Then you can, if I choose to, if I want to, I can always go back to them. I said, listen, you know what, the thing I told you about is absolutely amazing. So you can always go back to them. So I have not exhausted that, number one. Number two is that your warm market, you are constantly adding to it. It's like an assembly line. Because you always, if you are hungry, you want to meet people, you will always go out there and meet new people. Like for example, you know, many years ago, when I first got into the industry, I got laid off. I got downsized, right? And so what I do every day, and I told my sponsor, the people that I work with, I said, listen, you know what? People that went to MBA, you know, people went to master's school, went to classes, university with me, that worked with me in the past, they all said no to me. What do I do? And I was hungry. So you know what I did? I would go to department stores. And I didn't have money to shop at that time because I was, you know, I got laid off and I had no income coming. But I would go to the department counter and I would talk to the lady and strike a little conversation. I said, you know what? I love your attitude. You are so helpful. I have no intention to buy because I had no money at that time. I said, you know what? You must pay a lot of money doing what you do. So, well, no, not really. Well, listen, you know what? I know a friend of mine who has a business looking for people just like you. Entrepreneurial-minded people. If you're open, we can exchange contact information. We'll talk later. So what do? Now, you know, some people might not want to give you their phone number, but email is a little bit non-threatening. So they will say, we can exchange email, and then we'll talk later, because I know you're at work, but I love your attitude. And so you add that email into one of your pipelines. So you start making contacts. Now, that is I don't teach people to go cold market, but that is a slower approach. Because let's say if I met her, and she's the cosmetic counter, if I talk to her, and by the way, I want to create an impression, and I praise her first, and I'll say, well, by the way, my name is Kim, okay? So we'll be in contact. So I want to put a seed in there that she remembers my name, Kim, okay? So then what I do then is I go home and I start a conversation. Now, usually when you go from a quote-unquote cold market, you make it lukewarm, right? So you develop a little relationship, and then you go then show the opportunity to them. But that takes a little process, that takes a little time. Versus if you go with people that you know there's a trust factor among the two of you, then at least it's much easier to close a case. But with the cold market, because you add, later on you show the business and all that, it requires them taking the money out. So that takes a little longer process. Okay, so I mean, if you're really hungry, you constantly go out there and adding to your pipeline, filling up your pipeline, your contacts. Okay, so is that, okay? All right, good. Okay, now one more question. Are we done? Only one piece of paper? Oh my gosh! I need to speed it up. Okay. All right. Okay. Do many of the builders come from warm market or warm? Who asked this question? Singaporean? Okay. Do many of the builders come from warm market or cold markets? I could tell you from experience, 100% of my builders, 100% came from warm market. Now, Harris, all the people you talked to, did they come from warm market or cold market?
Warm market.
Patrick, warm market or cold market?
Warm market.
Answered? All right, very good. Okay, warm market. Okay, next. Are these very small handwriting? English. Okay. For 8th year in your journey in JEUNESSE, have you ever feel down, worried, up and down, hesitated doing business, JEUNESSE? Oh yes. Okay. Okay. All right. If you ever feel like this, how can you do? How can you do? Because sometimes I feel like this. Nana. Where are you, Nana? All right, very good. It's part of life. Everyday life, ups and downs. How many have kids? Some days you should love your kids to death. You are so good, such a good boy or such a good girl. And sometimes a little naughty thing just drives you crazy. Right? It's just life. You understand? I mean, it's like also, it's like, to me, it's like parenting. Kids are growing up at a certain stage, you think you got it all. It's like, wow, I finally got it down, Then they go to the next stage of growth, you go, oh my gosh, I'm in a whole new thing again. So it's just, you gotta keep the even keel. Meaning, you understand why you're doing this for and who you're doing this for. Especially the business we're in, when people's business, right? There's emotions involved. And it's just part of life. It's part of the cost of doing business, I suppose. It's just like going to a job. How many of you love your job every single day of your life at your job? Most people don't. I mean, some days you love your job, some days you just hated it. But people still go to work, right? If I were to tell you, you know what, I love every single day of my 8th year, I'm just kidding you, okay? It didn't happen, okay? But, there are days I say, I've had it. There are days I just, I've had, when I'm at that situation, sometimes I take a walk, sometimes I go to a treadmill, sometimes I just go meditate, sometimes go chill out, sometimes just go to a movie, whatever it is to get your mind out of it, and just snap out of it, and then come back in and do your thing. Yeah. So, it's part of life. It's just life, Okay, all right. Next. All right. To recruit might be easy, but to make people want to do the business is a challenge, true. Especially for those who are already successful, have lots of businesses. I would agree with the first part. Is it Penny or Rainy? Huh? Rainy, okay. To recruit is easy. To get them to go to work is a little challenge. Absolutely true. Okay? Especially those who are successful. Not really true. And I'll tell you why. Look at Ibu. She has money. Depending on how you want to define success. And most people right now gauge success by how much money they have. Well, she has a lot more money than I do. And so, but she's crazier than I do. I am. Doing JEUNESSE. And so, here's what I found out. Successful people make time for something that's meaningful to them. my husband runs it before. I mean, long time ago, he worked in a hospital in the daytime and nighttime. I mean, afternoon, his own medical practice. But my husband is so involved in the community that he goes out every single weekend, and sometimes on a Saturday and a Sunday, he will attend 4 events at a time. And I'm like, talk about busy, that guy's busy. I mean, he's busier than me. But he makes time for those things because it's meaningful to him. And so from his example, I learned when something is meaningful to you or to somebody, they will make time for it. And I can tell you, like 80% of people in Los Angeles that we work with, we started in LA, 80% of people are traditional business owners and professionals. But they make time for this because they see value, they see the vision of what they're doing this. So I think to recruit somebody, depending on how you recruit, oh, I love the product is so good. Then quote unquote, you recruited them. But you didn't enroll them into the vision doing this. So I guess recruiting and enrolling them into a vision. Now, getting the vision, some people just are born with it. They grab it right away. Some people it takes a little time to warm up, to enroll in the process. And so what is the best way to enroll people in the vision is to get yourself out of the way. Because sometimes the friends that you talk to, they look at you as a gauge of that's their measuring stick of what the business represents. So sometimes we have to get ourselves out of the way and let other people outside of yourself to showcase or to share the vision of what this business represents. You guys can use, there's many success stories on the USGS official channel. You can use other people, use my journey, or you can talk about your local leaders. Use their example and also have them plug into the company event or the local event. Because when they come see outside of you, they go, you know what? Now I see possibilities. I see people from all walks of life doing this. So their imagination begins to spark rather than getting everything from you. And so sometimes people feel bad. They go, how come I can't enroll them in a vision? It's just human nature. Not because you're any good or any not good, no. Just because their perception, they see you for who you are or who they think you are, and then therefore they label this opportunity as what they think they saw through you. Therefore, it's very effective if you plug them into the system, have them look at you send them different links or have them plug into local events. Why do we always say that we do from event to event to event? Because through event, it helps broaden your prospect or your new recruit, broaden their horizon, broaden the vision of what this opportunity represents. Because think about this. If you were to break the new, sometimes people have a negative connotation of what network marketing is or what this thing is. Well, I tell you what, if you were to break, look at an event like this. We literally have people from all walks of life. We have people that actually took a 3-hour bus from the little town to Sydney, and then take hours to fly to Singapore, and take hours to fly to here. And then there are people from Singapore, from all walks of life. Some of you are loaded, some of you are very successful, but you're still here. So if you were to expose your people into an event like this, they go, oh my gosh, it's no longer what I think it is. So then that will help them engage in part of the vision, and then they will go to work rather than just being quote unquote recruited. You guys understanding? So that's why it's important to understand, to get people to participate, go to attend events after event, because through different events, it helps open up the horizon, open up the perception of what it is they got a hold of. Okay, next one.
Okay.
Did I answer your question? Very good. Okay.
This one I should translate.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Okay. Kim, when you start this JEUNESSE business, what makes you believe this business will grow big? And at that time, there's no testimonial, there's no sapphire, ruby, emerald, or diamond. What makes you believe in JEUNESSE?
It wasn't JEUNESSE I believed in. It was me that I believed in. Truly. I really believe God put us on earth to do something. And we are born with just a potential. It's up to each and every single one of us to nurture that seed and let it sprout and let the potential come out. I didn't know if JEUNESSE will last. I didn't know if the product worked. But I believed I was destined to do something in this lifetime. So I went to work. See, a lot of times people go, well, what happened if it failed? What happened if the company closed? What happened? Well, you know what? I ask people, if you work a job, what happened if your company closed? You go for another job, right?
Yeah.
True or not true?
Yes.
If your business didn't make it, what you do? You try to open another business. Well, same thing. JEUNESSE is a vehicle. But that seed, that belief is within ourselves. I believe I'm destined for greatness. I believe I'm going to be big. JEUNESSE was my vehicle. And I hope and pray that it worked. And it did. And it worked beautifully. So, all right. Did I answer your question? Oh, please. You guys are on. Come on up. There's no free lunches. All right, come on up. So, at that time, in the beginning, I would drop him off to school. Then I will meet people at a coffee shop during a certain time. So during those times, I will either be calling people or I will help the team. They will bring prospects to there. I'll be meeting people. And when it's up, like he gets off school at 2 o'clock. So I will go back home at 2 and I'll pick him up and then spend time with him. And when he's done at nighttime, I'm on the phone again. So that would have been my schedule. Because we work at an international platform, especially in the beginning. You know, work with Indonesia, Taiwan, Hong Kong. So in the evening time, when my baby's asleep, I'm up working. And sometimes I will work until 3 o'clock at night. So that's my typical schedule in the beginning stage of my career. Then actually that carry on until then I start traveling. After a few months, I start traveling. Every 3 weeks, every week out of a month, I'll be out, roaming around different part of the world. And then 3 weeks, I'll be at home, and then I roam around the world. And so that's how I did my first few years. I racked up so much miles on my, it's just not even funny. But anyway, yeah, that's what I did. Now, as your business evolves, then you step into a leadership role. So a lot of your times is really helping your team, not to do babysitting, but not to do management role, but helping your team to do 3 things. Either I recruit, I train, or I teach people how to train, to duplicate. So all my activities evolve around the same thing. So that's the different thing. Now I'm not as actively out in the field as I was. So I'm a lot more behind the scene doing strategic planning, like planning such as the event that we just had in Taiwan, leadership retreat. So it's like parenting. At different stage, like when they were young and when baby's young, you feed them, you change diaper, and then you teach them how to walk. Just go through different stage.
Yeah, I guess my question is, in regards to time management, when did you take time to learn the system before JEUNESSE perhaps? It's obviously a skill set, right? How to be with people.
Well, I guess by actively working it, you're learning. You guys have uplines and have everything developed. When I got started, I have no upline. Well, my upline is the company, but I have never used a company for a 3-way conference call. So a lot of times people look at, wow, Kim, you're so lucky. 8 years of all this success. It wasn't 8 years. It's 20 years in preparation.
That's it.
Okay, so enjoy your desserts. We'll talk more